Hey y'all, what's crack lacking and all that good stuff popping? How are you guys doing today? So listen, this is not supposed to be the layover, so let me go ahead and add the correct layover real quick because I just downloaded. I don't know what in the world is going on over here. Oh, no, that's correct link. Never mind, y'all. How y'all doing today? Listen, it's been a long day. Very, very incredible, busy, productive day, but long. And I know you guys are so excited because y'all have been asking and asking and asking. And guess what? They're here. So we're going to be doing live book reviews. Now, just before I get into these live book reviews, if you are an author and you want me to review your book, then you're just going to go to the website visionavantbookreviews.com. Please do not autograph your books because I do not, y'all, I'm in the book world. People always want to send me their books and autograph it. There is no way that I can keep everybody's books. I want to be able to provide a service to you guys. So I will do these live book reviews at no cost to you. So, but you know, if you send it to me in the mail, I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to tell you guys if your book is designed to do two things. Now, before I get into that, let me just kind of make a little introduction. As you can see, as my hat says, I help authors and future authors make money. My goal is to show you as an author how to be able to leverage your book to build multiple streams of income from it. Most of my clients are either speakers, coaches, or in the network marketing space. The reason why I do choose the industry of network marketing is because when I wrote my very first book, I actually used it to recruit individuals to get into my organization. And I also used it in my organization as ways to get people motivated and inspired as giveaways. And so I know firsthand how to leverage a book to build a network marketing organization. Also how to build your speaking business and your coaching business. So if you're in any of those spaces, you are at the right place at the right time. My goal is to show you guys how to have the right book. Now, the two things that I'm going to be reviewing is I'm not going to be reading your books, okay? I don't have enough time to read your book. But my goal here is to identify, is your book set up to sell, okay? Is it set up to sell? Now, I would like to say that I am pretty good in this space. The truth is that when I share some of this information, you're probably not going to agree with it all. The reason why you're not going to agree with it is hopefully the reason why you have me to review your book. My goal is to create a product that people are going to pick up and want to buy, not a product that's just going to make a person feel just good because they wrote it, right? So a lot of challenges that I see with many authors is they become very emotional about their products, right? Versus being emotional about the people actually buying them and reading the stories. And so my goal is to get you into a space where people are going to buy the book and read it and then also want to know what else can they get from you. The right book should also be able to be turned, and this is the second thing, turned into multiple streams of income. So in this 30 minutes that I'm going to be here, y'all, I am going to be identifying, I might give you a couple more minutes than 30. I'm going to be identifying some additional ways that you possibly can turn your book into multiple streams of income. This is probably one of my greatest gifts, is being able to really turn something into multiple opportunities. Okay, so I have a group of books, and I got more than this. I got several books that you guys have been sending to us. I'm going to review 2 specific books today. We'll be doing this every single Wednesday. So if you are an author or you know an author, go ahead and tag them in this so that they can actually send their books in as well. Okay. So I'm looking forward to going through these 2 books. I'm going to try to get to 3 possibly. But we're going to be going over number 1. Is it set up to sell? Okay. Now I'll just kind of go ahead and address some of the things I normally see with books. The first thing that I typically see with the book is the title. The title is not specific enough, and it's not allowing that potential reader to truly understand, as a result of reading this book, what am I going to learn? A lot of times, many authors, they'll put something like The Overcoming or The Deep Within. And while those are great titles and all, but nobody understands what that means. Overcoming what? Overcoming what? A heartbreak? Overcoming what? Being betrayed? Overcoming breaking your leg? I mean, what are you overcoming? So you want to be specific. Well, this is for anybody that's overcoming anything. That's everybody. And so if you're trying to attract everybody, you're going to attract nobody, because nobody's looking for everything. People are looking for specific results. Does that make sense? Dang, that was good. Did y'all just hear what I did? just say it. I just made that up. I did. Nobody is looking for everything. Let me repeat that one more time. Nobody is looking for everything. Nobody's looking for everything. So while we're out here thinking that our book is going to help everyone, they're not looking for that. And so it is very important that we understand what makes people buy is a specific transformation, because nobody's looking for everything. People are looking for specific things. Amen. So I'm going to be looking at that. Now, like I said, sometimes people ain't going to love what I say, but I'm not here to make you love me. I'm here to change your life. I'm here to help you to have a product that is truly going to sell. Okay. So I'm going to do my best. I ain't going to be rude or nothing like that, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay. So the first book that we have is going to be this larger package that I have here. And again, if you want to ship your books, you just want to go to Vision Avant Reviews, visionavantbookreviews.com. Okay, so this is the first package. And I will tell you this, I love when I do get a package that is professional, as far as like it has a professional label on it and things like that. It definitely allows you to stand out. Now, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, Chad. You got to go to the post office and write your own labels. But you know, if you want people to look at you as more than just the author and a business person, sometimes what we want to do is make sure that we set ourselves up to look professional, right? Now, while I open this up, there's a website where you can go and get customized envelopes. Lord, I hope she don't open this door, child, because I got my thing propped right here. I'm gonna tell her, do not open the door. No. All right. Oh, if she would have opened the door, child, it would have been the picture would have fell all over. I don't even know. All right. So anyway, so we're gonna open this thing up, and we have two books here, and this is coming from Robert Emmanuel Holiday. So Robert Holiday, got your stuff. All right. So the first thing that I see, we have two different covers, or two different books here. We have this book right here, which is called From the Juice Crew to the Sell Experience. And then we have this right here, which is, I guess this is a workbook or I don't know what. Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's a bigger version. It's a bigger version. So we have two different covers. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it looks like it's saying the same exact thing. So let's go over a couple of things. First and foremost, From the Juice Crew to the Sell Experience. So I'm assuming that this must be some kind of a document that's on the top. Y'all can't see it. Let me zoom in. So this document, this looks like it's some kind of document that maybe if you are locked up in a correctional facility, that you would have to fill out to ship out letters and things, right? I'm assuming that's what it is. It's not really clear. And I'm assuming that this may be specifically for people who, when they see that, they know exactly who it is, right? So cool. The challenge, though, is what is this about, though? So even though it says From the Juice Crew to the Sell Experience, that's a great title. But what I would love for you to do, Robert, is add in a subtitle, okay? So I would like to have a subtitle, 7 steps to, of how to handle coming out of, the correctional life, or what everybody should do when they're stepping out of, or I don't know, is this a biography? If it is a biography or memoir, which, I teach more of self-help books, then still give me a subtitle, right? A subtitle that gives me a better understanding of what is this book about? Because if I have to figure out what you mean by it, I'm not going to want to buy it. Okay. And so you want to now the people that know you, they're going to probably want to buy it from you. Right. So From the Juice Crew to the Sell Experience. I mean, I don't really know what that means. Does it mean juice? Like what you was selling juice? I mean, and I'm being very serious. I'm not being, I'm not being funny when I say this. So that is why you need to make sure that you add in a subtitle so that people can have a clearer understanding. Now, a couple of things. When I teach individuals to write their subtitles, I don't recommend that you use the same exact wording that you already used in your title. This is an opportunity to give that person better clarity as to what this book is about. For example, look at this. The 10K book, it says how. So what if I just only put the 10K book? People may not know what I mean by 10K, right? So what does that mean? And so I create a subtitle that says how to turn the right book into a 5-figure business. Now, I'm coming out with a second edition of it, and so I'm going to actually elaborate even more on the subtitle. So I want everybody to make sure we add that subtitle in. Now, another thing that I will say is I would love, and so it looks like this might be the second version. Now, I'm not really sure because for this to be a significant size difference, this is an 8.5 by 11. This looks to be 6 by 9, that this is much thicker. So I don't know if this is the second edition. I don't know. But the back cover says pretty much, I think, the same exact thing. They loved me or helped me when I needed, whether good or bad. Okay. So let me tell you what the back cover is for. So the back cover, here's the back cover right here. Bloop, bloop. Now, I will tell you this, Robert. Oh, come on, focus now. Get off my face. I'll tell you this, Robert. I love the fact that you have this professional picture. Okay. I would like it to be maybe if you have the original one, because it's a little bit pixelated, but it looks great. I like that you have a professional picture. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. One time somebody sent me a picture for their back cover, and it was a selfie of them at dinner. What the world? Ain't nobody taking that person seriously. And I'm not putting that on no book with my logo. You know what I'm saying? So, you want to have those professional pictures. But let me tell you the purpose of the back cover. So the purpose of the back cover is to close the sale. And so what I would like to see more on the back cover, Robert, is I want to get like an understanding of like, close me in. So, is this about, they were good for years. It may not seem like they were all drinking and smoking, not having the right, but felt right. Then fellowship with the right people made it feel good. Like I would say something like, have you ever had a crew that you knew that would never turn their back on you? Did you maybe deal with, like, ask certain qualifier questions? So I'm assuming the Juice Crew must be like, my boys. These was my boys, and we did everything together from legal to illegal, right? So can we explain that on the back cover? But start off with some qualifier questions. Did you have a Juice Crew? Or what is a Juice Crew? I know you might be asking. Well, that's a crew that you do everything with. Did you ever have one? Are y'all still friends today? Ask certain qualifier questions that's going to get the person to say, yes, 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 that's me, that's me, that's me. And then you want to give an explanation. Well, in this book, you're going to learn how to XYZ, thus and that. In this book, you're going to learn the story of how I went from this to this, right? So you want to be able to give a specific explanation. Now, in regards to the Robert E. Holiday speaks from his heart to your heart, that sounds great. What I would do is I would instead, though, maybe have a brief summary of like Robert E. Holiday experience, growing up in the streets of Flint, Michigan. And unfortunately, due to, excuse me, guys, making some of the wrong decisions, he ended up locked up, like incarcerated or something like that, right? And he had, and when he got out, he made it his mission to be able to impact and inspire other men who've suffered from this as well. And so that, his goal is XYZ. So instead of, this, I would add a little bit more, context to the fact that you experienced lockup and that you're now wanting to help other men. I typically like to connect my back cover content and finish it with like my mission. Now, a couple of other things that you want to make sure, guys, that we're doing when it comes to our covers. So he's got his barcode, right? So we want to always have that barcode on there, right? You see that? However, one thing that I don't see, and there's space right here, right, is I don't see any kind of way to get in contact with Robert. What if this is not my book? What if I see this book somewhere else and I say, dang, okay, I want to get a copy of this book, right? There's no website. Sorry, y'all. I be coughing like, child, I don't need no remedies. Don't nobody send me no remedies, child. I'm just going to get through this. I got remedies. Okay, I'm good. But no, contact information, guys. This is real estate right here. This is your business card. And so you always want to make sure, do not leave people in a space where they have to search for you. And then with the name like Robert Holiday, you never know. It might be some others out there. So you need to make sure you include the website of how people can connect with you or even purchase a copy of the book. Include your social media. always make sure that on your covers, you need to have a way for people to connect with you. Because the truth is that they might see it somewhere else. Now, the only other thing I will say is I would highly, 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 highly encourage that, guys, when you write these books, and I'm not trying to disrespect the cover. I really appreciate the hard work, but I would also highly recommend hiring someone who is specifically someone who does book covers, professional book covers. And so I would even take, because I see the concept and the idea, but I would like to see this structured a little bit more professional, in a way where, like, you know, like I'm looking at the way that your name is. I would like that to be, you know, the normal size of what we would normally put a name. Even the title, I want this to pop out some more. And then you add your subtitle. You guys, you can invest into an amazing cover designer. We actually refer out our cover designer to you guys for, you know, $100 to $150. Because remember, guys, the first thing that they're going to see is going to be this cover. And then your back cover content is not necessarily the designer's responsibility. But what I would encourage you guys to do is look at other covers. You know, one cover that you can definitely duplicate is the 10K book. Because when people make a decision to buy a book, this is how they decide to buy. They look at the title. And what is the promise that the title is making? So when I'm looking at your title, I'm not really getting a promise here. I don't know, what am I going to learn, right? Specifically, I'm being honest, right? So if I pass through that and I say, okay, this is teaching me how to, you know, what to do once I get out of jail, or once I get out of being incarcerated, great. Okay, let me flip it over. And then on the back, I'm looking for additional confirmation on, is this book going to help me? And so that's why I start off with qualifier questions on the back cover. I start off with saying, in this book, you're going to be able to learn how to go from A to B, not A to Z. I ain't trying to help them with every single aspect of their life. They have a specific challenge, and I want to help to solve that challenge, okay? I'm going to give a brief bio, but my bio is not my life bio. It's kind of, I don't even really call it a bio. It's more of a, this is my mission. So, you know, Taria, you know, has written over 15 books, worked with 6,000 different authors. Like, I'm going to share a portion of that. And her goal is to help 1,000 authors generate over $10,000 per month every single year. In fact, her life mission is to impact the lives of 10 million. You see what I'm saying? So I'm talking about what I want to help people with in the community. And I'm doggone for sure making sure that I have my contact. Now, what I will say about this cover, I don't know the difference of the two. I don't know if this is, it's just way more content. It's a lot more content. So I'm assuming this is more content. You got images and things like that in here. But again, same thing. I would highly invest in having a cover designer that you can spend $100 to $150 that is a professional book cover designer, not just a professional graphic artist, because there's a difference of the two. Now, there is a website, if you don't want to use our cover designer, that I would recommend. The website is called 99designs.com, okay? So it's a couple of things that's going to happen too when you hire a cover designer. So if you already got the title of your book and stuff like that, and you haven't started working on it, but you want to get the cover designer so that maybe you can pre-sell and stuff like that, well, your first thing that they're going to do is make the cover. They're probably not going to put the back cover content on yet if you have not given it to them. But see, like the way that our cover designer does is she does the front and the back cover. It's going to have like some filler information, more Latin words, right? So that you can kind of get an idea of what the cover is going to look like, the front and the back, right? Then once you are done writing your book and it has been completely formatted, that means resized for print. And I would recommend, unless you're creating a workbook, I'd recommend you keep your books at 6x9. I'm just going to say, unless it's a workbook is okay to be larger, but I would recommend to put it at a 6x9 and have your font size to be Cambria size 12. So I hope you guys are writing this down, okay? So anyways, when you format the book, then the formatter will give you what your final page count is. And then you go to your cover designer again, and then they finalize your book based on the page numbers, based on what you want on the back cover content, and making it professional. My very first book, I got this design. Now, this isn't the original design, y'all. This is going to, This is the second design. But my very first book, I went through 99 designs. So for those of you guys who are OGs and you got my original one when it was called A Vision of Freedom, that's the one where I got like the suit on and I'm doing like this, like that. That was the original design, and I got it made on 99 designs, right? And so it looked similar though. So it had the same kind of fade, and you see the difference. It's just professional. The font, you see, I even have tips to making more money, a subtitle. I even have some additional bonuses in there. And then again, all of my back covers are structurally the same. It starts off with qualifier questions. It then gives a brief bio. I might have a quote in there. I might even give bullet points on what the different chapter titles are. But remember, I'm also creating books that are self-help books. Now, y'all, let me tell you something. This is taking much longer, so I'm gonna try. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get to the second book, but it's taking long. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do 2 books per presentation, but we'll try. But how could he turn this into multiple streams of income? So first things first, I'm going to, of course, highly recommend that we redo this cover. We redo add a subtitle to it. Let's say, and I don't know what Robert does because he doesn't really say here. He just says speaks from his heart. So I'm assuming that he's doing more transformation, public speaking. But let's just say, I'm going to give him a transformation. Let's say Robert decides that he wants to help men who were previously incarcerated learn how to start their own business. I know one of the biggest challenges that a lot of men have, and women that are coming out of the prison population, is getting gainful employment where they can really live a full life. That's unfortunate because many of them, they've done what they needed to do to get themselves back, and on the right path. But a lot of times they end up going back into the challenges because ain't nobody paying them no livable type of lifestyle. And, it's hard out here. And so what if Robert could focus on teaching men who have recently come out of jail that were incarcerated how to be able to start their own businesses? Now, he would be able to have one of 2 different types of customers. There are nonprofit organizations that are out there that also serve men. And so he can come up with an entire program and stuff like that. And then also, of course, the men. They might have people in their lives that would be willing to invest into them learning different techniques and tactics, right? So you have your book, and then you're going to have 2 additional products. And so what we teach individuals who are a part of the Book Profits Club family is how to turn that book into at least 3 streams of income. So you have the 1 stream of income, which is your book, which, by the way, if your only focus is on selling books, you're not focusing far enough, right? That's no money. Book money is no money. Book money is no money. I'm just being honest, y'all. You got to sell a whole lot of books in order to make some money selling just books. So what you want to do is learn to think about what's next after the book, which, by the way, you should be mentioning that in your book. You should be telling people about your what's next. So let's just say his next product might be a luncheon. You know what's dope? What I think that I would love to see more men do, that women do all the time, is why don't we do a luncheon for the bros? You do a luncheon that you do once a month. And in that luncheon, you're going to do some empowerment. You're going to open up conversation. Now, this might be a high ticket luncheon, but this is the thing I do understand is that depending upon your situation, maybe it's been a while since you've been in a space where you could dress up. Now, you might not be able to dress up in a full suit, but put on your best pants and your best shoes and your best shirt and spend a little money to come to this luncheon, right? And so it might be a $50 or a $97 luncheon. And then you could even reach out to individuals in your community that might be willing to sponsor people to come to the luncheon. You just never know. You'll have athletes. You'll have people that come from the hood. Shoot, you might have people still in the hood that would be willing to invest in men being able to attend this men's luncheon. And at the luncheon, you invite people to come in and be speakers to come and educate these men that are coming out and coming into the real world. So you do that once per month and you charge $57 to $97. And so you want to have enough men coming to that. Then from your luncheon, you would offer your premium product. Now in this premium product, it might be a 12-week program where you're going to teach them, number 1, developing the right mindset for entrepreneurship. You're going to then teach them how to start and launch their own business, because the cool thing about being an entrepreneur is that you can become an entrepreneur. Don't matter your background, right? So now you're going to show them how to get themselves right. And then number 3, ironically, a lot of times folks that are coming out of jail, their credit be right. And so you could also help to build up their credit and show them how to establish their business credit so that they can officially launch a real business using other people's money. Imagine you're able to do that once per quarter where you can get 10 men to maybe enroll. You don't know, the price might be $3,000, right? And believe it or not, if men know that they could be able to launch an official business, and then you even show them different ways of how they can maybe even get funding for the business, let's just say $3,000. That's 10 times 3,000. That's $30,000 every single quarter, $10,000 a month. So that's how you could leverage this book. All right, let's go to the next book. All right, the next book. And then we're going to wrap it up, and I'll do the next on next Wednesday. So again, if you are an author and your book is printed, you need to send it here. Now, if you want me to do a more private one-on-one session, I do one-on-one sessions, but you have to pay for that, okay? You want me to sit down with you one-on-one? I don't do inbox one-on-one sessions. Do not email me, DM me, and think I can do a free coaching session. That's why we do this live, because you're giving us permission to be able to share this to the community. And then what I do is I do donate these books out, okay? So you, again, go to Vision Avant Pictures. What's better picture? Okay, so yeah, so if y'all have questions and stuff, you are definitely welcome to schedule a strategy session with me, and I can give you some additional help. And we have some additional things that you can do to be plugged into the community, like Book Profits Club, right? So anyway, so now we have Denise Artist. And so Denise, I want to shout out Denise. Denise actually registered as a VIP for our 5K and 5-day challenge, where we show you how to generate up to $5,000 in 5 days or less. Let me tell you something, okay? It's a lot of challenges going out there, honey, but these challenges ain't set up like ours, because we're showing you how to make your challenge investment back. We just had somebody post in the Book Profits Club Facebook group that she followed to the T what we taught, and she was able to get a sponsor for $497. And so that's on top of the books that she's pre-sold. So we teach you how to get the bag, okay? So anyways, so here's her 2 books. Right here, she's got 2 books for me. One I do know is a journal, and one is her book, okay? Now, the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and look at this one. Again, y'all, I just want to encourage, and again, this is not me throwing any kind of shade or nothing like that, but if we want people to really see us as professional, and I don't know, listen, I would highly recommend investing money into an officially done cover, okay? If you go to visionavantbookreviews.com, and you'll get the details on how you can send your book. I'll also make sure that I send you guys my book cover designer that I have used for several years, okay? She has done all the covers for all of our projects. And then also you can go to 99 Designs. Be Still and See Me, Empowerment Publishing and Multimedia. So this again is the same situation, Denise. While I do love the beautiful flowers, it's very pretty. When I look at this, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this is. When I'm just looking at it, before I flip through the manuscript or any of that, I don't know. And so what I would love is for you to add a subtitle. That is probably going to be my biggest tip for most of you guys. I get it all the time. Most people do not put a subtitle on their book. So I'm going to encourage you guys to always include a subtitle. Your subtitle should give us specific clarity as to what is this book about? Why should I buy this book? What is this going to help me with, right? So steps 2, a journal that, my story on how I. Now remember, do not repeat the words that you already put in your title. You don't need to repeat them in your subtitle. This is to give better clarity on why somebody should buy it. Really, honestly and truly, the title of your book should be something that grabs the attention of the person. The subtitle should give them confirmation. So everybody, make sure you always include a subtitle, okay? Now, I'm going to flip on the back. So she has a beautiful picture on the back. I can tell this is definitely a professional picture. It's high resolution and everything. So I love to see that. However, what I would love is we don't really need to have the full background of all the flowers, because we already see it on the front, right? So what I would use is more of this space to be able to give a better breakdown of what this book is about. So again, the questions, the qualifier questions. Do you need help with this? Have you overcome this? Are you dealing with this? Those are, I'm telling you, you get someone in the yes mode, they're going to be like, I want to buy, I want to buy, I want to buy. So I would start off with those qualifier questions at the top. Then you're going to go into, in this book, you're going to learn X, Y, Z, this and that. I do like how she has this quote. I would even say you could add this quote to the front. Add the quote to the front. So have your designer to create a banner that goes down below, like, you know, a banner, like a white cover banner or something, where you can add in the quote. You can put quotes on your front covers and stuff, guys. And so that would be great. And then, of course, you do have Denise B. Artist, is the author of Connecting the Dots to Life Eternal, is now sharing her journal. So this is a journal. So I would tell this on the front that this is a journal. Listen, oh, they can flip it open and see, but everybody may not be able to flip it open and see. So you want to always make sure that you are clear on what that subtitle is about so that they know what it is, okay? Also, again, same scenario. There is no contact information in the book. There's no contact. Oh, well, she do have. I'm sorry, I lied. She do. Good job. She does have CTD to life. Now, I don't know what CTD stands for. So I would even have a domain that might be kind of connected to the title itself. So bestillbook.com. I do purchase a domain for every one of my books, or what I teach is to have a free hook item capture page, right? So you definitely want to make sure that whatever the CTD to life is, hopefully that is connected to your website. And if not, then we want to make sure it does. And you can also include like your Instagram or social media handles, right? So I would definitely, again, highly recommend, investing into getting you a designer that can take this concept and take it next level. Because again, the first thing that people see and making a decision to work with you is going to be your cover. And let me show y'all, I'm going to show y'all my journal. If I got one over here, child, I may not even have one. Lord Jesus. I don't think I do. No. I do not. All right, well, never mind. But I also like with journals, you know how journals typically have the ring binders. So that's always an easy indicator that this is a journal. So you can always even have, for the binding of your journal, you can have the printer to do it in coil. And so I'd recommend that. Now, when I look inside, oh, honey. So when I look inside, she has these beautiful pictures on the inside on every single one of the pages. I know y'all can't really see, but she has these beautiful pictures. So now what I would ask is, what are these pictures representative of? And so maybe I'm assuming that in here, you're going to say what that is. And you have a forward and acknowledgments, but I don't really have, it's not really telling me. So if you're going to have these pictures, of course, copyright laws. So you got to make sure that you do have the rights to use them. But I would even maybe have it connected to what is that about, right? But, oh, you know what you do? Let me see the birds, his hands, the wonder route of rocks and trees, of skies and seas. So like she has these beautiful headers, but it doesn't really explain. So one thing I would love to see here is like, this is a picture of XYZ and it causes me to think of XYZ. So I would love for you to journal down, when you see this picture, what do you feel? Like, give instruction. People need instruction. Don't just give them this, because then it's just another book just to fill out. But if you want it to make in alignment with what you teach, give them some instruction on here and then explain what are these pictures connected to, right? Now, this is her actual book. And so she does have a subtitle and a title on here. However, again, I love the cover. It's just, I would love a little bit of tweaking to the font. The subtitle that's at the top, it's, I'm going to read what it says, but it's black. And so it makes it, you can read it though, but it's a little bit more difficult. So what I would even do is maybe even have that faded out. Like I have a background that's just a light, like a light transparency on the back of it. So God, inspiration, reflections for mankind coming back from an unprecedented pandemic that forever changed our world. Oh, great inspiration. I said God. Okay, I love that. Good. Connecting the dots to the life internal. God always has a master plan. Denise B. Artist. So this, I would even say this is a great, like you can say that, this is a great inspiration and reflection great inspiration and reflection for mankind, where I came back from a pandemic that forever changed my world. Something like that. And I know that this is still connected to more general, but still connect that to some specifics there, right? So great there. Again, I'm just going to say the same recommendation for the back cover. I'm just a big stickler for being able to provide good content. And if you notice, sorry, the grease, but if you notice, I also like to highlight certain things, highlight words. I bulletize stuff. I want it to pop out. You might include some of the chapter titles, or in this book, you're going to learn this, and bulletize that in short sentences. But make sure that we utilize this back cover, not just to have a picture, which your picture again is beautiful, very pretty, beautiful picture. But we want to be utilizing this to sell the book. So you want to give more confirmation or clarification on why they should buy the book. I do love this quote. Your heart stopped 21 times, but the good news is it started back 22 times. Thanks be to God. Now you want to put who quoted that so that you can give reference to who quoted that. The author shares experience knowing God is always with you and using inner strength, overcoming grief and loss. Like, because I know exactly what you're overcoming and what you dealt with, I would be more specific. Like, don't be general. Talk about how you lost your husband and what you've had to do to come back. Denise worked 20 years doing this, married for 45 years, and the pandemic happened. And in this book, she shares how she was able to come back from losing the love of her life and really being able to reestablish herself in this place. Like, be specific about this, because the people that have dealt with that, when they read that, they're going to immediately identify with you and want to go and buy this book and read it. Okay. And so we got to stop trying to be so general when it comes to impacting the world. There are billions, 8 billion people in this world. And so to impact 1 million, that's still a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the world's population. And so the more specific that we can be, they said, I don't know what the number of people that actually passed away from the pandemic, but imagine how many people are also suffering from, shucks, you hear me coughing? That came from the the vid. It came from the vid. Ever since I had it. Like, if I talk too loud and too hype, Josh, I meant to have me some tea. And so there's people who are suffering from that. And if you're more specific about what you're talking about, it's going to connect with people. Now, I already talked to Denise about how she could really be able to turn this into multiple streams of income. But for you guys, I'm going to tell you guys how you can turn it into multiple streams. So when it comes to, anything that's dealing with coaching, the first thing, of course, you have your book. Then your middle priced item is going to be like either a one-day event or one-on-one coaching. I recommend for individuals, before you do a one-day event, to do one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching allows, and it's a strategy session that's 1 hour. You're able to ask a couple of questions and then ask, what are their goals? And then based on what they tell you, you're able to give strategy. Now, what I had found after doing over 1,000 strategy sessions is that generally most of them had the same goals. Why? Because I was very specific in my marketing and who I wanted to serve. So when they got on the phone with me, 9 times out of 10, they all had the same goal of wanting to write a book that was going to be profitable and grow their speaking and coaching business, right? And so I always was given the same exact strategy. And so I decided, instead of doing a 1 hour strategy session call, why don't we do a 5-day challenge where I know that everybody is dealing with the same challenge? We can go through in 5 days and show you guys how to make up to $5,000. But I only did that after I had done enough one-on-one strategy sessions. Does that make sense? And so that would be your middle priced item. And by the way, for my 5K and 5-day challenge, the great thing is I can have an unlimited number of people in that. In one-on-one strategy sessions, I'm limited because it's me. So I first recommend starting off doing the one-on-ones, but then advance into a 1-day or even a 5-day challenge. Now, your premium, especially in this space of transformation coaching, life coaching, business coaching, you can always create like a 12-week program. I used to do a 3-day boot camp. And so my 3-day boot camp, we'd had 6 weeks of pre-work and then the 3 days. I would do my camp every quarter. I did 4 a year. Doing 4 of those a year every quarter allowed me to build a business that did over $500,000 in sales. And so, no, I was not working all day, every day doing book writing and doing one-on-one writing. I don't believe in necessarily doing a lot of one-on-one if you understand who your target audience is, because this is the thing. If you have a specific target audience with a specific problem, it makes your world easier because you can give better results. Because typically they're all going to follow the same steps. Does that make sense? But if you're trying to help everyone to overcome everything, that's several different challenges. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to work with all women who have overcome a challenge. God dog it on us, everybody. Okay. All right. So what if one woman comes to you and says, well, my heart was broken? Well, you're going to give her steps on what to do to overcome that heartbreak. Another woman comes to you and tells you, well, my boss fired me because of sexual harassment. I was going to tell on him. Well, the steps that you're going to tell her that she needs to take, and you may not even have experience in that. So now you're lying. You don't even know what to tell them how to do. Does that make sense? Like legally. You might be able to give them a general thing, believe in yourself, push forward, but is that really giving them a solution? No, it is not, right? And then you have another woman that comes to you and says, well, listen, I got type 2 diabetes and I need to lose weight and I want to be able to get off my medication. See, this is where we mess up in this world, and we're afraid to be very specific, especially even in our writing, because we think we're going to miss out on people when the truth is most of us that's doing that ain't even got enough people to even talk about missing out on people, right? I'm not trying to be shady. I'm really being so honest, y'all. I really need us to wrap our heads around this because there's 8 billion people in the world. 1 million is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction. And many of us, you couldn't even handle 1 million clients. My ultimate goal is to get 100 members in Book Profits Club. I said 200. 200 members to be in Book Profits Club by the end of this year. 200 members. That's it. We get 200 members, y'all. Listen, I'm focusing on my man. Okay, 200 members, because with those 200 members, it multiplies. They're impacting other people. When I say the mission is to impact 10 million, it don't take me having to impact 10 million by myself. It takes me having a focus of impacting 100,000, 250,000. And then those people go out and impact another 100 and 250. And then those people impact another 250,000. And next thing you know, we had 10 million. And so the more specific that we are. So anyways, I hope that helped. I love the covers, but I also want to encourage you as well, Denise, if you can, to maybe kind of restructure them. Get you someone that's going to make it a little bit more specific. Let me just show y'all some of these books. So again, right, this is one, I haven't even opened it yet, but The Road Less Stupid. So while it does have a road, if you see, what does it have? It has a title. It's got a subtitle, Advice from a Chairman of the Board. Another subtitle, Avoid the Dumb Mistakes that Sabotage Growth, Profits, and Business Success by Keith Cunningham. Okay? So very, very specific on that cover, right? Let's see, I'm going to pull up another one. This is another great book. What's super important, guys, that we must remember is that we want to be able to make sure that when someone sees our book, they know exactly what it's going to be about. And also we want to encourage them to be so excited to read the book right away. Amen. All right. Look, 12-week year. Have y'all read this? Look, New York Times bestseller, but it says get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months. What? How do you do that? So again, I'm going to flip this thing open and I want to read it. Now, the other thing I will add on regards to inside, because people will look at the cover, then they flip it over, look at the back cover, and then they flip it in. The formatting that is done in her book, in Denise's book, is phenomenal. It's great work. Also the formatting in Robert, I'm going to tell you. So what I love so much is when I open it up, look at this. The inside is perfect. Wouldn't change nothing about it. Study guide, pre-test, child. She got tests. She got poems. So she's got content that she can use if she ever gets hired to speak. It just looks really, really good on the inside, right? But what I want to make sure is that the first thing that people are going to see are these covers. And so if we put them up beside a top selling cover, are we seeing a difference, right? And so a lot of times when I'm hiring my cover design, or when I'm telling my cover designer what I want, I will go and look at other covers and give them examples of what I want. Images don't always have to be on a cover either. It can just be words. Both of these, I mean, this has a little road on it, but both of these are really, that stands out is really the words. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, listen, that is my review for this week. We went way over time. I was only supposed to do 30 minutes, but it's going to be hard to only do 30 minutes because, you know, I got to give y'all the good. Listen, if you guys want more specific help, again, this again, and because I've been doing this for so long, I already know that when people hear me review their books, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. I'm just trying to tell you, I've not had to sell 1,000 books a month to build a high six-figure business. But one of the things I can tell you is what causes people to buy things, right? It's very plain and simple. And my question to you is, would you rather be emotional about the content that you produced or be emotional about the lives that you're going to change? And if it means that you have to tweak your title, if it means that you have to create a different cover, by all means, do what you got to do so that people can get your information. And so never be emotional about the work that you do, because this is the thing. You're only as good as the current person's life that you're changing when it comes to this world of coaching, speaking, and network marketing. People don't talk about over and over again about what you did. They're talking about what you're doing. And if you're not getting any sales, if you're not creating any transformation, and you might be getting some sales, maybe you're good at sell. By the way, those of y'all who sell books that have titles that are not very specific, you are great at sales, right? What if you had a book that could sell on its own? With you combined with being great at sales, baby, you should be at six figures, okay? And let me add this other thing too. For those of you who write books for the purpose of, I just want to change lives. Again, this goes back to it. If nobody knows what your book is about, it's not going to entice them to want to buy it. That means they're not going to read it. That means that their life is not changed. So we have to make it make sense. All right, guys? Okay, I hope I wasn't too harsh. I hope you guys appreciated it. I love you guys. And I really, listen, I get very, 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 what's the word? Passionate about this, because I just know how it feels to be in a space where you're working so hard and you're not seeing the transformation, guys. But if you're just willing to just lean on the understanding of someone who actually knows how to do it, you'll see that your life will forever change, and it'll forever change because you're changing other people's lives. All right. Well, God bless you all. I pray that your day is full of peace, prosperity, and happiness, and everything in between. My name is Taria Vision Avant. Again, for those of you guys who want to get your book reviewed, go to visionavantbookreviews.com. visionavantbookreviews.com. That'll also get you connected to all the things that we have going on, from Book Profits Club, our 5K and 5-day challenge. And for those of you guys, if you want to hire me to do a private one-on-one strategy session, I am available for hire as well. All right, guys, God bless you all. I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.